Well, hello people, and welcome to another episode of City Showcase. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're looking at Palm City by Sierra X, where the only mod used across the entire build is 25 tiles. And given what we have in front of us here, this leaves us with a very impressive unmodded build to explore. It is on the island map from Sanctum Gamers map pack, which you can find down on Instant Gaming below if you're interested. Don't forget, if you want your work to feature in the next episode, there is a link to a Google form in the video description. Otherwise, let's take a look around this 25 tile tropical city, shall we? So as always, the orbital view always leaves us slightly breathtaking, doesn't it? Especially when we come to realise that looking at the road planning here, the interchanges, etc. We're playing with no mods, besides 25 tiles, of course, if you want to see 25 tile boundary, plus all the district names. We can see where we're playing with here. So, super unique looking city. On a map I've never seen built before as well, because all of Sanctum's maps are really nice, but I always wanted to see something on the island, which we finally have right now. So I think we'll explore this mass first, and then the outer edges, and save this central business district crawl for the end of the episode. So all the DLCs are pretty much present here. We'll start out with some mid-century modern and shopping mall combinations and some really gnarly terrain here as well, right? We can see looking across the flat map here that it isn't flat, it's just there's the hills and stuff everywhere, so that should be very interesting to see how it's been handled. Big car parking vibes, also with the aviation club tucked in here as well, with oil, road maintenance and other larger shopping mall buildings to create a bit of an open air mall. Nice use of the mall of moderation, of course, even with the paths around the side. I will see stadiums and trains for the first time. Let's check out our gradients on the bridge, which looks very nice. Gradient please shouldn't be too upset with that. We'll also see a little school campus here, faithfully put together, with some other waterfront assets also down here. More malls, Japan and water wall all the way through the same. Even with some time taken to add in some paths behind, which is so hard to detail in totally vanilla. Plus Anarchy and Move It make an enormous difference to what you can do with official assets. Love the airport fence around the aviation club too. Before European suburbia kicks in with a nice little waterfront park. Swimming pool embedded into this. Build kind of tapers off here as we come into some windmills that allow us to climb up to the observatory, partnered with a biodome. And cable cars, park life assets with some really nice views across the whole city from here. And it's a big 25 tile build, isn't it? Difficult to hit the 200,000 population threshold. So a nice little starting suburb out here. And we'll take an appreciation for the grander sense of road hierarchy here. We've got arterials crossing rivers. Nice suburban layouts. Interchanges coming through which aren't too busy at all. Given the fact it's a totally vanilla build, very interested to see what the traffic is like. 74%. Where's our choke points? I think the central highway belt's pretty busy, isn't it? Beyond that, the red isn't anything too horrendous. Airport's pretty busy. Otherwise, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Transit riders, you've got 10,000 tourists coming in a week as well. I wonder if the Space Needle's present. We'll find out at some point. This big European suburbia grid flows up and up across this huge sprawl. Like the sprawl of the city, I think is one of the most impressive things about it. Just goes for miles, doesn't it? You've really managed to nail a theme of density without any mods. Basic park setup here. Combination of favourite park assets, etc. Park life gates, and even a little emergency shelter as well tucked in there between the parks. Actually kind of makes it look a bit like a tool shed almost, doesn't it, in a kind of a park setting like that. I wonder if that's what it's repurposed as, or if it is actually there for disasters, etc. A little bit of a commercial main street picks up through here with some high density residential. A nice little convergence on the main road, great use of a classic corner asset, of course, the post office. With some bus lanes also coming through. It looks as though most things here have been historical. I'm not seeing any gross assets. Yeah, this has all been historical. Brilliant. So you've taken time in the asset selection as well. We've not gone for any grim looking surviving Mars assets. As I say that. One of them appears. That's fine though. We can always accept just the one of them. Childcare. Makes up our simple suburbia. Before we'll see the Central Park included in a low density residential district, which isn't something we ever see. I think it's the first time I've ever seen it in this setting actually. But I don't mind it at all. It works really nicely. And if you have Find It, the sub-buildings from this asset are incredible. You can do a lot of things with them. Planning to do some of those things in Ilium. But more mid-century modern takes back over here. Before we jump over the highway between these interchanges, just basic slip ramp systems here. But they're working, aren't they? Cycle lanes also present. Dropping us into a big vanilla district. Then I love all these little like community hubs, libraries, gyms, schools, parks, services. Just scattered in amongst all the residential. Really nice use of pedestrian beachfront down here with a helicopter stop as well. Cable car back up to that observatory we saw just a moment ago as well. I love the use of the big palm pedestrian road on the beachfront here. Even got some of your beach props in as well, which aren't going unnoticed. Absolutely wonderful. The countryside assets as well. That's a really great positioning for that one on the beach, isn't it? I have to remember that for Ilium again. Got Japanese gardens, water wall. This is a really nice positioning for the events area. I love how you've done this. Great setting. That's so simple as well, isn't it? You know, but it works so well. Really sweet. Very nice. Some detailing also gone in as well with our extended sandstone texture. We've also got the fence in there too. Love to see little things like that. Pathways between the blocks. Taking people back into this suburb we saw, where we'll also see our first train station. Also one from Bad Peanuts. Let's get a little sense of the rush, shall we? Hello people. And where do you all go, I wonder? Do you pocket car? Or it looks like most of you are intercity busing, possibly. Real nice intercity bus station here. Love to see this transit convergence. Oh, there's metro there. 313. 570 through the Paradise bus station. Oh, you've even named all your stations as well. Very nice. That's a nice little touch. I never do this. And then 327 here. So this is a super busy little walking pawn metro configuration in the suburb. Very nice indeed. I will also see some industry here. Looks like garbage and sewage processing by the highway. Nice alignments, etc. It was a nice drive-by on the highway past big industrial infrastructure, isn't it? I can appreciate the positioning. As you move back towards the beach, we'll see some really fun park patterns. I love this detailing with the flower beds. So versatile, these flower beds. You can use them as planters. Kind of like actual what they are, you know, rows of flower beds. And again, it's just, it's simple. It's not overdone, is it? It's just a simple park life park that just sits really nicely in the road frame here, helping to break up the zoning. We'll see unique buildings here. Varsity Sports and the Opera House, combined with the medical, the Vanilla Hospital, and another little city park here. As we come across to this hillside, which we'll grab. We can also see hotels present on the beach. Green cities and one of the Asian temples up here too. But we do have just another wind farm up this way. With a single hunting cabin. Which has some really nice views across a massive city. This suburb continues this side of the highway. Back up to that central park where we have another interchange. And then lots more flowing grid. I will grab this side of the highway. Where we'll see our first Industries DLC instance of industrial steel plant. Some gnarly terrain going on here as well. I really love the visual of the crane so close to the factory. Something we had in Rannoch, but not this close. But they pair very nicely together there, don't they? Almost as though this raw materials being lifted into the factory from this perspective in particular, isn't it? Power of orientation, everyone does so much for your builds. Cargo station here. With ore processing too. That's a really nice asset combination again, isn't it? The ore processing buildings near the cargo terminal. I have to remember that one. And I tend to have these away in processing sites away from the distribution. But the assets do pair nicely. I will see a centralized interchange arterial here with the disaster response, and then lots more ore processing lining all the side of this road before we come to the rotary kilns, doubled up with plenty more processing and extraction. Where the road tapers off here into, I guess, just a cute little nature reserve. This road is taking us all the way over here up to this one. I actually checked the node count of this because I was quite curious. It's 86% of the nodes have been used in the build, which is good going for 25 tiles. Must be a lot of fencing and paths in the city. So this is why I tend to pay no attention to the traffic stats, because this is just classic CS stupidity, them behaving like this. And there's basically no way to help this in vanilla. So kind of annoying for you to have that, isn't it? Because that'll really just destroy your traffic stats, but you can't fix that. Just go. Just stop doing that awkward dance. Back over this side of the highway. We'll come across definitely more of a beach suburb here off the Central Park. Campfires. Really like the fence on the beach actually kind of separating residential. This is giving me big Aussie vibes, this. Beach housing. Well, a simple green cities district. We've got a little high-speed access road here as well. Where are you going? Yeah, I'm guessing this is gated community then with the toll booth here, isn't it? I'm going down that route. Little national high-speed access road takes us back into a wider European suburbia district. Before that changes to vanilla. I love the beach. How the path just flows all the way along it. Hopefully this is getting some use. Yeah, there you go. These guys should have a really cool walk up this way in particular to the skyline, right? And that big stadium over there as well. So all the beachfronts in this suburb here, we'll see some new road hierarchies coming together. Again, a grander appreciation for the planning here. And we'll come down to a roundabout, which looks into a bridge, which is a little humpback bridge, which is really cool. I love how you've got the like the arch in the bridge there, the bow, very cool. Gradient police should be alright with that maybe. I love this view here with this metro snaking around, coming up this arterial road. Isn't that fun? Nice design there. Our Waterfront beachfront continues with lots of walkable pathways, roundabout detailing, and really nice suburban sprawl. We'll notice paths and more parks scattered in. You're a big fan of your little park life installations in the suburbia, aren't you? And just a simple but tasteful use of park life. And this sprawl goes forever through all this district. Contained by the highways here with the trumpet interchange. We'll see more medical. More rich vanilla housing. Some high density pockets around the transit hubs too. A little bus road coming in here. With cycling convergence, bringing us back to the beach. And the metro stations, which are busy as well. See people making their way around here. As we follow the road around, we'll see some interesting little slip roads here, almost like a, well, non-omnidirectional trumpet, which is really fun. Well, you've still got your stupid AI. What are you doing? Stop this. But that's fine. Fishing over here. Some marinas as well before we become into a bit more of a high density district for the first time on this walkable seafront. We'll see definitely the Australian Christmas market here, right? Hot summer on the beach for Christmas. And a really nice zoned residential skyline, right? There's no horrible Just as I say it, they appear. Just about to say there's no horrible residential assets for the most part. Everyone knows my feelings on these. I genuinely believe these were accidentally imported from surviving Mars. They're not actually CS assets. I'm convinced of it. But really nice skyline here, right? Using the tower blocks and all these kind of tenement apartment buildings. Really nice. Great use of vanilla zone in there to create some high density. It's office in here too. Between the highway, where the office also continues into a big pedestrianised area. Our service points under here. Big circular walkways, underground metro. Heading into the city centre it looks like. Where I think we also have the Metro Plaza present. So we'll see how busy that is. I really love this roundabout here with the tram passing through it. Isn't that gorgeous? Really nice tram detail in that. Tons of fun, this little area. Further down, there's 2 festival sites. And wasn't there another one? We just saw another festival site. Aren't these unique buildings? They should be. In which case, a mod has been used. You shouldn't be able to have multiple of these. So either move it, or essentially unlimited unique buildings via find it, I suppose. But that wasn't mentioned in the submission, so I'm not sure if maybe he forgot about that. But unless I'm misremembering that, you can't duplicate festival areas, can you? They are uniques. I'm on Ilium's mod set here, so you won't see his mods, don't worry about that. But the festival area stuff, yeah, they are unique buildings. You can definitely place one of them. So there is duplicated festival areas, but beyond that, I don't think there's anything else being used here. We'll keep our eye out for other duplicate buildings. Away from this big pedestrian area is fantastic. Love the use of the glass roof plaza. Really sweet. Love this asset so much. It's so nice on the pedestrian roads, doesn't it? As we move through here. Get lots of sight lines down on the street level. Coming into what is definitely the first kind of mini skyline here next to the major downtown. Which is also very industrial. We've got unit buildings in here. A couple of skyscraper assets, a hotel. Lots of nightlife zoning around the bottom of it here. Coming into the Statue of Industry and a ferry terminal. Where are you going? Back over here? Yeah, not too busy, but I know there's metro here as well. So I imagine that's taking the bulk of the traffic under to the other side of the river. And then we've got big industry out here. Industry mixed with towers is always such a unique vibe, isn't it? We've got lots of zoned industry. Waterwork assets, shipyard also in here. Fishing, factories, multiple of them. Ferry depots, cargo terminals. And the Statue of Industry. It brings us into a little rail yard, which is very nicely put together. On the edge of a wider forestry district here, which we'll get to. I also love this. Really nice little bit of detail at the back of your skyscraper here. Our forestry area is enormous and also blended with oil, which is the first time we've ever seen that, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen forestry and oil right next to each other. But the pulp mills really work with the refinery, don't they? Definitely an asset combination I can get on board with there. Again, quite inspiring for Ilium at some point. When we come to build the refinery, maybe I'll use some pulp mills into it. Soft paper factory over here with water wall, where we also see our forestry extraction. A fun use of a hilltop with some biodomes, nature reserve assets, and the old antenna. Bringing us back to a vanilla suburb which lies this side of the highway from the one we were exploring earlier. Which is very much more of the same through here. Seen emerging downtowns for the first time as well. Great pack, of course. With arterials going back to the mining area. And then this big swooping hillside suburb. Wrapping up this massive landmass to, I guess, what we will refer to as the east over here. I'm desperate to get stuck into this airport island, so let's check this out next, shall we? Let's come from this arterial road that we were fond of crossing over here. So a bit of a perspective. And the map is named after this island, because it's the island in an island, essentially. But to repurpose it into an airport island, for the most part, there is some residential here. That is a really cool way to use it. So we'll see our metro coming down. Really nicely integrated alongside your road networks too. Before we see some industry functioning by the cargo airport here, which has our trains coming and going on the ground. And then we'll get a wider sense of the airfield configuration here. It's a very nice vanilla airport. Really fun. Runway police might get you one runway lengths, but they do as me. Just ignore them. I do. But this is a nice, great detailing. Airline headquarters present. At the front of our terminals, we've got some insane walking ports. Yep, Space Needle, I knew it. There you go. That's where your 10,000 tourists a week are coming from. Lambing the public transit system. Fantastic. Can't wait to get to that underground metro plaza in the city centre, because a lot of these will be heading there, I imagine. How much ridership is this metro? 2,826 in one station. Brilliant. Our terminal frontage is gorgeous and also partnered with the business park. Helicopter depots. Another little green cities park right out the front here as well. With some faithful detailing. And then terminals come off into concourses. Really love this curved design you've got going on here. With the taxiways. That's a lot of fun. Really, probably one of the best airfield configurations I've seen, actually. This is really nicely put together. There's no backing up planes here either at all. Very nicely done. What have you also done over here as well? I guess they won't be able to use these. I guess they're just for aesthetics, which I kind of don't mind, to be honest, because obviously these are one-way networks, so they can't get back out. But it's a fun way to just decorate an airfield like that, isn't it? Beyond the airfield itself, we'll see a high-speed national road. Double fenced off with more vanilla housing. In some nicely measured and executed grid formations here. Curves coming in to respect the joining of other arterial systems. This brings us back down to the corner that we were fond of a moment ago. With a pretty impressive drive across this bridge in particular, I guess, right? Look at that. Fantastic. Big wall-to-wall district over here too. Again, on some pretty challenging terrain. Like, this isn't a flat island by any means, is it? It is really quite bumpy, all the terrain through here. We'll see another fan zone park here as well, with some plazas and promenades configurations. This is a great combination, actually. I like how all this sits against the road. But another duplicated music venue asset, for some reason. It's the only ones I'm noticing that are duplicated. I'm not seeing anything else. Maybe you just wanted more music in the city. Factories, warehouses line the edge of the airport. With a nice little park design again. Up and at the foot of our airline headquarters. Some really fun crisscrossy networks happening here, haven't we? So we've got multiple interchange ramps. I see what you mean, like if the city was built with Move It, this would be smoother, wouldn't it, I think? So that's why I'm kind of convinced Move It hasn't been used. But I don't know what else has been done to duplicate the uniques. Radiant Police might get you for that one, Sierra. But I won't tell if you won't. And then these come across onto some really nice networks. Sending down back to the mainland. So lots of access in and out your airport. Underground metro definitely taking the bulk of it from the Space Needle. But not bad at all. I really like this. Very tasty. That leaves us with, I think, these little outer lying islands, which we'll grab next. And then we'll cover this, and then we can begin our crawl into the CBD. So jumping over this side of the map, we're coming across another green cities district, which is, again, pretty sparse. Not massive density out here. Another beachfront. With lots of dirt roads. Simple city services. Elder cares. Libraries, schools. The ferry terminal here, which isn't getting the most use. It's interesting to see people's ferry dispersion compared to Ilium, because I'm so invested in the Ilium ferries. That it's interesting to see how other people's perform. Sea Fortress also down here too. Otherwise a fairly tame island here. I think we're right on the map boundary here, aren't we? That way we can also see one of Sanctum's bridges. Then again, I'm not sure which bridges are Sanctum's. Which are builders. Not sure. I'm guessing this being an outside connection, this is probably one of Sanctum's bridges, isn't it? You can tell, right, when a bridge has been made with Move It, because the nodes are all perfectly level at every interval. And then slope down. Like the map maker has used. Making an assumption there anyway, that actually could be false. Over here, we'll come across a campus island, which is my favourite thing. Absolutely love seeing campuses. And this is really fun. So we have our main building here. We've also got a after dark bus station tucked in. With campus buildings, academic library, uniques. Some really nice residential up here. And tasteful use of the nicer official assets. There's even some really nice detail in here at the front of the stadium. Great use of pedestrian roads in a stadium district. Love the geometric part designs at the front. Very cool. Over this side we'll see more central pedestrian road running right through the heart of the campus. With another glass roof plaza. And plenty of water wall. Service point nicely embedded into your concrete space there. With more fishing. And network bridges coming out here as well. Very sweet. I think we've got everything here. Some garbage service there with a very compact trumpet interchange. But a really nice use of an island just to create a campus. Very fun. This brings us across some pretty gnarly bridges here. Gradient police will definitely get you for that one. But more nightlife over this way. Boat hotel. Pedestrian pathways back to the mainland, which we'll get to. The Ocean Spa Hotel is here too. Green Cities Parks. And then another little really tasteful, like, mid-rise skyline. I like that there's a few of these across the city. You can see the other one we saw over there earlier as well. Let's get a bit of sense of the road hierarchy here, which is certainly unique, given how circular everything is in the middle, isn't it? Again, with another simple park. Love the centralization of the plaza. With all this zoning and unique buildings around it, there's some nice assets in here. With those like a little orbital ring road serving it. Fun little city design that. Reminds me a little bit of Target actually. Target builds a lot like this, doesn't he? Little beachside metro station here. Just takes us around and underground in fact. To another pedestrian area with services, disaster response. This is a really great bus and tram terminus configuration you've got here. Also enjoying the detailing with the plazas and promenades perhaps. That's a really nice setup there. Nice execution of pedestrianisation. And then all of this comes up. Got the Arc de Triomphe over here too. Quays, fountains, castle hotels. All on that straight run cut right through the skyline. That's a great sight line there, isn't it? That'll look fantastic at night time, I think. Looks fantastic now, but even more so. Really great detail around the arc. It's always fun to see how so many different people use this asset. Quite an obnoxious one, isn't it? But I love what you've done around the bottom of it here. Flower beds, accompanying plazas. We'll also see a zoo over here as well, which looks like we just have all of the main attractions kind of in a row here. But it works. Nice way to link into all the paths that come with the assets themselves, like the flamingo enclosure and stuff, and the lion ones. So that's fun. We have a big hillside crawl. Right up to, of course, the most pinnacle mountaintop asset in the game. The Lord Chirtwick Castle. Which has more tourism at the bottom of it. Plazas, statues, etc. Giving us a really fun view. Backwards like a massive city, like there's the observatory we saw at the start. Like city, it feels so much bigger than 25 tiles, doesn't it? Like Noob Yoke was a 25 tile build. But this feels like significantly bigger for some reason. Probably because it is. This is like nearly double the population. And then over here we have the Sphinx and the Mountain Lodge, which is a questionable combination. I'll question this. it's a bold asset, that one. Also with the statue of Colossus here on the edge of the zoo. And we'll see more green space, metro emerging under and overground here. Before that completes those little outer lying islands. Giving us now just the central landmass to explore, which we'll grab this side of the highway first. With a little hilltop build here. Does this have a name? Mount Robinson, I'm assuming. So just a little park area. Views. I love the parallel cable car and power line aesthetic. Something I've not seen before, I don't think. I would say. Can't recall it. But over here we'll see green cities. I'm not missing anything out in these outer rivers, am I? No, yeah, we're in 81 tile territory there. Green cities, horrific place to live. Right here. Endless noise pollution, but that's fine. Over here we'll see combinations of the mountain village hotels, which I think always work when they're densely packed in like this. And actually work really nicely with just a little bit of nightlife zoning. Isn't that a fun visual combination right there? The mountain hotels and this stuff. I really like that. More hotels from the Hotels DLC. 4 green cities. Takes us into a fairly random location for a workers' barracks. Unless we have... no forestry up here, is there? Wonder what that's here for. Yeah, Robinson Forest. Is it just for processing, is it? Unless that's... has that been moved elsewhere, maybe? Where's that industry area? Okay, I can't see anything. Maybe you didn't build it, or you just wanted the buildings down here. Over here we'll see Farmscape. Classic vanilla field patterns back to back to get the larger field view. With some nice little slip ramps coming off here. Again, I'm not sure what is... I think this looks like it's been adjusted from what Sanctum did, I would say. These look like modded Sanctum ramps. You can tell the difference, can't you? From Move It and Anarchy controls. So I'm pretty sure this comes with a map, but extra ramps have been embellished by Builder, I think, haven't they? And likely something similar down here too. This brings us into the Space Launch Center, which is designed quite specifically. Almost looks a little bit like the strongest shape from this particular angle. We'll have car parking and water wall, which is an interesting combination to go with the space launch building. Also see nuclear power over here. Zoning, general services. And then kind of big installations of power, really. Is this all part of the same build, I wonder? Let's have a look. Valerie Spaceport, nuclear plant, and nature reserve. Guessing this is all part of your same facility then, isn't it? If you like, this is part of the spaceport district. And then over here, we just have a little wooden bridge out to some simple green cities clustered around the lungs of the city. Or otherwise, general outer line countryside here. We'll find a custom prison over here, which is a nice use. Death care services, plazas, and lots of open fence space. Outer line prison. And some outer line vanilla farms over here. All the zone stuff, of course. Farming pre-industries DLC. And this brings us across the highway back into much more of a dense area now. So let's get a grander view of the road planning in this big central district, right? Most notably, this enormous interchange is pretty dominant, isn't it? Got a significant stack system to explore here. And then our downtown is all very dense. But I think appreciating the city from this design point of view here. I would say totally unmodded, but something has been used to duplicate the festival areas. There's not a ton of gameplay mods that have been used to make this. Which makes it all the more impressive that it looks so good in the sprawl. Fantastic. Around here, we'll enjoy tons of European suburbia with vanilla housing and wall-to-wall, mid-century modern, resuming the other side of the highway. Really nice road planning here. You've really nailed the use of grids and curves in tandem with each other. Really fun little bus convergence hub here. Great execution of pedestrian roads and metro convergence. You could have even actually put the metro station on the pedestrian road. Do walk through some overgrowth there, but that's fine. Down here, we'll enjoy another beach, which takes us back to that monstrous highway bridge, serving the outside connection. And that bridge taking us back into the more rural forested green cities island out this way. The mothership sits with a stadium, which is a really nice position for this stadium. I love that on the beachfront. This is big piercing metro line as well, going right through on a straight trajectory here from the start of its line, which is again pretty busy. We'll see how many people get off here. Yeah, decent. And you're all going to go and converge further with buses and metro, aren't you? So you've got some really nice instances of public transit convergence across the city. This is really sweet. Coming up to our first pretty busy interchange, although it's not horrendous. It just feels like rush hour traffic, I suppose, doesn't it? But it doors back up a little bit down here. That's maybe a little more. That's fine though. In our European suburbia district, we'll see more of the same from Sierra. Tasteful, yet simple use of green cities and green park. Big factory districts with export, zoning, water storage, and several factory complexes here too. But before we come into a little terminal for cargo, I should have really loved this. This like sandy train line following the coast is very, very industrial, isn't it? Especially as it's running alongside all these factories. I find that quite inspiring for Ilium, to be honest. Like a dirty, slightly coastal industry train line. I can work with that. I'd love to see a train go on it, actually. Have we got anyone nearby? We've got a very small train. What happened to the rest of you? He's all gone. Right? So inefficient. That's the smallest cargo train ever. You're not going the way I want you to go, though. I want you to go this way. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. That's fine. Over here we'll see another massive farming district in the middle of some quite dense areas as well. And before we'll see this, wall-to-wall, vanilla housing combined. You can see more pops of medium density over here as well, tower blocks in amongst the residential. Heading us up back to another festival area, pedestrianised on the beachfront, with wonderful sight lines of crisscrossing metro across the networks over there. And then more nightlife waterfront. Sees this pretty chunky district here. I get boxed in again by this big slicing arterial highway that really divides up the whole city, doesn't it? It's running all the way through these different districts in several different directions. It's interesting. Let's check out this stack interchange. What a beast this is, right? Holy smokes. So several layers all at play here. Very, very fun indeed. Good flow on it as well. Trains coming up and over. Back over this way, we'll see the aquarium on the extension of that industrial beachfront. Down to the vanilla zoo. And some more nightlife districts. This then really drops us off in kind of the beginning of downtown, doesn't it, as we cross over our highway. We'll see more stadiums. Nice greenbelt designs. Water wall. Use of the modern art museum. I think maybe we could have had some keys out here maybe to bring the modern art museum into the water a little bit. Would have been a nice thing to do here, especially partnering that with the malls as well, the Ocean City stuff. Would have been quite a good asset combination, that I think. Again, might remember that one for Iliump. Very fun. And then we are indeed emerging from downtown. With emerging downtowns here, aren't we? We've actually got shopping malls and emerging downtowns mixed together. Which is a great combination, isn't it? More glass roof plazas near the stadium. For big swaths of vanilla housing. Again, through some really interesting road network. It's so easy to go grid most of the time, isn't it? But this is really nice. You're going for the curves. Really helps to break things up. Across here we'll see definitely something of a named build. The Pacific Technology Park, to be specific. And then over here, all the high-tech buildings, Science Center. Bits of zoning as well. As the highway really cuts through the bit of the city. We'll see some elevated pedestrianisation. Coming into a really quite eye-drawing green cities development with the high density. Kind of tucked into the four corners with the big pedestrianisation cutting through the middle. Different paths. Glass roof plazas. Some really nice metro convergence down here. So a nice way to use green cities. Very dominant. I love the big park setting here like this. Very fun. More stadiums, nightlife, and hotels. Lit at the beachfront. With water wall. We'll check out the Glass Eye Arena as well. We saw this from the other beach, didn't we? Such a cool arena, which should have a really nice view to the skyline from a certain seat in particular. Maybe the top tier, right? Always love checking these things out. Always happy to see the Glass Eye. One of my favourites in the game. And then we'll see the usual. Vanilla. Green cities. Portable. I think you certainly have your favourite district styles, don't you? See lots of this through here. Such a colourful city, isn't it? Especially with that vanilla housing in. The basketball arena borders another massive green cities park. With rail, cargo. Interesting placement for the cargo station here. So close to residential. They don't seem to care though, do they? Yeah, there's no noise pollution for them there. Cool. I guess maybe the trees will also block it as well for them. Which then brings us really into downtown. Crossing over the highway here. I'm going to follow this central arterial. Off this interchange. Which comes into this roundabout. Which is running trams on it as well. Very fun. Nice way to use the one-way tram-only road. And then the tourist arch really beckons us into the skyline, doesn't it? Which is made up mostly of unique buildings. Looks like we can see some little bits of zoning dotted around in it, maybe. Down here as well. And look at this. Oh, we just went right past the Metro Plaza. Yes, please, everyone. Let's get a bit of a setting here for downtown. We've got all of our towers. Over to the east. And big public transit convergence look like it's happening here. Let's get a sense of ridership in all this public transit infrastructure. We've got 115 in the central station. 185 here. And 2,305 in the central station. Very, very fun. None of the helicopters, it doesn't look like they're running though. There's no one waiting for them. Very fun. So this is a really nice central transit plaza configuration. We have Grand Library, the plaza itself, the design hotel. After that, bus stations, disaster memorials. Mid-century modern. Has hid the train tunnel very well, actually, if you're sending that on the ground there. We've got a high interest tower. There is quite a bit of zoning in the downtown here as well, to be fair. Huge skyscrapers DLC. Luxury hotels. It's such a dominant downtown building, that, isn't it, that hotel? It is pretty big. And then it's just so dense. I love dense downtown space. Another classic Sierra Park Life Park. Two of them, in fact. Got hotels, lots of green cities in here. You've respected a climb as well, haven't you? We can see everything's just in a crescendo up to this one. We also see the Opera House here as well. Expo Centre, Grand Malls, casinos. Or really intricate road network as well. There's a lot of arterial road here, isn't there? There's tons of 4-lane structure. Which I think is really helping the build, actually. It might not be great with the road planning, please. But certainly adds, I think, something to the build. Just makes everything seem so much wider, so much thicker, doesn't it, when you've got so many big roads. I really like it. And we can see here as well, not that this is a criticism in any way, because you can't really do much about it, but this downtown is not flat. It's not been terraformed. You've really used the natural terrain here. You can see the rise in the road here as well, which I think it makes it a lot more respectable, because it's so much more difficult to build when the ground isn't perfect for you. So a really fun city centre. This road here as well, I think it'd be a crime not to check out the nighttime views here. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Love this big straight piercing line right the way through the road hierarchy here. You get a bit more of an impression of it with the lights on, don't you? It's a really phenomenal downtown, just absolutely gorgeous. Lots of nightlife here, against the views back to that big city centre. And for it to be done, I'm assuming without plot the growables. Because most of it is, well, all of it is zoned. I'm only left questioning the multiple music festival sites. The rest of this is definitely all zoned in. Great use of a plaza space behind the zonings there. Transit plaza is going to look fantastic at night as well. Let's look at that. Merging out of your commute into this. Big fan of this whole central transit configuration here. A lot of fun. Back over this way, we'll see the Grand Central Terminus mixed in with nightlife, residential. That brings us back up to this big highway district, where we also saw the basketball arena. With this big bridge taking us back into that other little medium mid-rise downtown, where we saw those other festival sites. And a really treat of a build. I'm an enormous fan of the downtowns. Really, possibly one of the best unmodded downtowns I think we've seen on City Showcase so far. It's a really nice use of so many different packs, especially with the nighttime view when you get a sense of the road planning here, don't you? And the wider road hierarchy of the map. So clearly, a very experienced player. And you've made some really, really quite tremendous stuff here, I think. Big fan of this, eh? You'll have to let us know what happened with the duplicated festival sites, because I know your submission references only 25 tiles, but you've multiple music sites here. So you'll have to let us know what you did to do that. But beyond that, I am thoroughly believing that this is basically an unmodded 25 tile build, which makes it very impressive because there's some really nice designs here. You definitely can see some of the unmodded jank in some areas of the city, I think, but it is kind of impossible to avoid almost. I have that in Palaven and Navaria as well. Moving Anarchy make an enormous difference just to tidying off a lot of those awkward pain points, especially with things like retaining walls, to hide nasty terrain layers. Kind of hard to go back once you've been playing Ilium for so long, to be honest. Was a huge thank you, Sierra, for sending this in. Really a pleasure to look around Palm City. Don't forget, if you want your work to feature next episode, the link is in the video description to the Google form. Fill it out and I'll do my best to load your work and showcase it off on the next episode. A normal shout out to the YouTube members and patrons that support these videos. Links are also down below for that as well, if you'd like to help support the channel. And a like for free does wonders for these videos. Enjoy the cinematics and I'll see you next time. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.